Welcome to another episode of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Jevoy Palmer. And today my guest is Alex Mahn.
It's Mahn.
Mahn.
Yep.
Sorry
Close
for
enough.
that. Yeah, Mahn.
Yeah, Mahn. There
So
we
we
go.
have Alex Mahn with us today. And Alex and I met in the UW film program. And that is an 8-month course running from September through 8 months from then, whatever the timeline ends on.
Next spring, I think.
Next spring, one of those months.
Something like that.
And I am super excited because not only have I been able to learn a lot from this course, I've also been able to forge some relationships. So Alex is my closest friend in the group right now, and he is going to sit down and we're just going to talk a little bit about business, whatever that looks like for him, whether he's considering it, whether he's thought about it and what that could look like. And so hopefully if this is useful to you or somebody that you know, just go ahead and share it. Let them know that, you know, whatever they've been thinking is not so crazy and whatever they're going through is not so unique and different, and that there are solutions to their particular problem. Not necessarily Alex's, but hopefully give them an idea of how to move forward on their own. So without ado, Alex, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Doing good. Thank you for having me out here.
Good, man.
Really nice.
So talk to me about why you're in the UW film program.
So film is actually something I've been passionate about for a while. I think it really started in high school.
Okay.
I took 2 years of a film class out there at North Central High School. Shout out.
Nice.
I don't know if I should dox myself, but anyway, I took 2 years out there, and it was just probably the most fun I've ever had in like class. And I think that's what pushed me to go to school for it.
Yeah.
And like we just made stupid videos back then, like nothing serious. It was just like stupid skits, or like we made a music video, like we made a parody of like a rap song. So that was really fun. Shout out Comethazine. Yeah. Anyway, and then I took a documentary class in also in Spokane at the community college out there, and it was really fun. I got to ask people questions, like do a proper interview, like get real B-roll footage, and so it was really fun. And then I was in school for a little bit, and Spokane doesn't have a lot outside of like a couple classes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I discovered this, my mom actually sent it to me, and I was looking into it, and it's actually like something I can get certified in, and something that maybe, you know, just have that like credibility, like, oh, hey, I can do this, you know?
Right.
So I'm hoping in the future, as already has a little bit, to actually do something to make money that way
In the film industry.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think this is increasing my skills as well, like overall. So, and that's the biggest thing, I think, because I'm actually learning a lot. And it's really enjoyable. So,
Right.
yeah.
So talk to me, since you mentioned turning it into something, but also you've always had an interest in film. For me, I think everybody has a different idea of that, because my idea of an interest in film is Transformers, which people do not see as a classic, right? They're like, that's not film. And I'm like, that's literally my favorite movie and my favorite series out of all, because of maybe the time I watched it. I was a teenager, and just that nostalgia, like it just won't go away.
Bro.
Right. But for you, what was that? What kind of movies were you into?
I would say I don't know. There's not, when I think of like movies, there's not one that comes to like specifically in mind.
Okay.
But I watched a lot of YouTube growing up. When I think of films, there's not one specifically that comes to mind.
Okay.
When I was growing up, especially in like elementary school, like all I watched was YouTube. But like I was a little iPad kid, but not really. But I did have my iPod Touch, so shout out to that.
Hey.
But no, I was on my computer a lot. I got my first computer in elementary school, and I would just play Minecraft, and just a lot of YouTube videos, just really stupid, like for back in the day. But like Minecraft videos were awesome. I made some of my own.
Okay.
Really bad, terrible videos, but that's kind of like
Just videos in general then.
Yeah, like
so that's
like so I would record my Minecraft gameplay and like try to be funny, but as a like 12-year-old, it's not that funny at all. So, you know, it's just really, and you look back and some of it is very, very cringe.
Yeah.
But I also find it enjoyable because like with the real ones, I'll show them videos and we can just laugh about it because it is really funny. But I think that's what really like started it. And then I don't know, I didn't really get into the swing of like actually like committing to fully recording like gaming videos because I just felt like, I don't know, I guess I just kind of gave up on that. But because I don't know.
Well, do you not know? Because that's a big thing right now.
That is a big thing.
Is
It is. And
videos and putting yourself out there. So
yeah,
talk to me about that.
yeah. I don't do a lot right now to put myself out there. Kind of.
Right.
I don't really post much to anything. And if I do
Yeah.
post anything, like it's just to like 20 people that are like my homies, you know, or like I want to see it because there's other people I don't want to talk to and they follow me. And
Right.
then so it's that weird anxiety thing where also it like doesn't really matter
Yeah.
at the same
So do
time.
you
So
think you overthink it?
yes, 100% I do.
Right.
I don't know. Cause I know deep down it's just like, I don't know. Like one of my friends, he went to jail and for a little bit just over some stupid shit. It made me not want to hang out with him because he was just doing bad stuff and like started
Okay.
doing like fentanyl and all
Right.
that. So that was cool.
Okay.
But it's just something I didn't want to be around, and he'll always like just keep sending me stuff, and I don't open it because I'm just
Right.
like, because I'm also like really bad at just like being like, don't talk to me, like I
Yeah.
don't want to be friends with you,
Right.
you know?
You're not good
And
at
it's,
being
it's tough.
clear.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough. I have a really hard time because I value my relationships with people a lot.
Naturally.
So,
Well,
yeah.
I will pose one thing. I
Mhm.
don't think having boundaries is not valuing your relationships. For one, that's valuing you in your own relationships, and helping people understand how you would like to be treated, not what they do specifically, but
Right.
how you feel about them does matter
Right.
for the continuation
And
of
like
that,
it's
right?
yeah, and like with that specific situation, it's not just because like he went to jail. Like I can get
Right.
past people going to jail. It's just the fact that he never wants to like better himself, and I've been there for him. I've gave him money. I've helped him out.
So
You know,
this
shout out.
this is good because let's bring it back to you now. This gave me back to my previous question that I had, which was if you stopped putting yourself out there because you didn't think you were that funny, or maybe Minecraft wasn't the
No,
subject
Minecraft is
matter,
not the Minecraft is not
what
the.
would it be now? Do you think if you were ever to do that and turn your social media into something you leverage for your own personal
Yeah,
brand?
I think it would be skits. I enjoy just like funny
Skits?
skits. Yeah, I love doing just like random bits that make no sense, but like also a
Who
lot
are
of sense.
some
That's
of the
funny.
people you
Um,
can think of that would be similar to what you kind of want to make?
and like well classically SNL skits are
Okay.
pretty funny.
Okay.
These guys I watch on YouTube, shout out Hive Mind.
I mind. Okay.
They just literally like they just do bits all the time where they just make up these like such elaborate stories, but they're so fucking funny.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
But or like the Loiter Squad is pretty funny too. Like
Okay.
with Tyler the Creator and like those guys back in the day. It was on Adult Swim for a while, but
Never heard of that.
no.
No.
The same thing with like Eric Andre too. Like those
Oh,
guys.
Eric
like,
Andre's nuts.
where like some of them are just like skits, but they're also like pranks and like those they're hilarious, bro.
Okay.
Like, they're
Okay.
hilarious. So
I see.
I gotta show you some.
So you would go for skits, pranks, things like that.
I think so. Yeah. I think I'm too
now-
much of a weenie to do like real pranks
Yeah.
nowadays, but because people are crazy out there, like they just be
Right.
sleeping in Walmart or like smoking a whole blunt in the Walmart,
Yeah,
like
there's
and
no reason
hiding
to
out.
go to jail.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
don't get caught. It's just like it's crazy. Like bro
Well,
just walks into Best Buy and just sparks up, like insane.
Right. Well, that's nuts. But in terms of that now, this brings me to another question. Who is that for?
I don't know. I want to say just like everybody. Like I just enjoy making people laugh a lot with like
Okay.
I enjoy bringing that joy to people where I'm like, you know, because like laughing is the best medicine, you know, where just something enjoyable, you know?
Right. But let's see. There is types of comedy,
Yes.
right? Like I wouldn't take my mom to go see Cat Williams,
No.
but I love Cat Williams. That's,
Fuck yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
jokes for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And then at the same time, those people don't make less money because their audience isn't super broad. So I
Yeah.
want you to think now with that
Right.
question again.
Okay. I
Who
see what
is
you're
this
saying.
for?
Who is this for?
Is it for bored teenagers that just want to laugh because it's ridiculously silly comedy? Is it for 30 to 50-year-old moms that are going to then maybe end up buying products from you because of the content? Is it like, right? Like, who is it? It's really going to help you then because this doesn't go, I now need to lock myself into this. It's like, if I was to do this and do it every day, who are the people who I want commenting and going, bro, I love this. This is awesome. It's like, is it people who are having a bad day?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But like, what kind of people? Right?
Yeah.
Because is that people who
I
are
think it would
having a
be-
bad day just with their boss, so you make good
Yeah.
jokes about your work life? Is it, you know, people who are having a bad day at school, so you make jokes containing your school knowledge now that you're in it, right? With those skits, because the reason I say that is once you pick that group, it makes it so easy to just start and jump right back into it.
Yeah, I think
right.
When you say that, I think it would be younger people. I guess just like people.
What age?
Like probably like, you know, from like teens to like people in their 30s maybe, like somewhere in that range, like 20s to 30s maybe. And just like people around, not around my age, but just like around that like range of like 5-10 years maybe. But like, yeah, but like and there's a lot of like stuff that inspires. I see stuff on Instagram all the time that I see, and like it's funny, and like they do like real skits, not just people like not actual like pranks and stuff. I mean, some of them are, but just actual like skits, and it's just like some of them are great, some of them are great, some of them suck. But you know.
What do you like about them? What makes a skit suck?
A lot of time my humor is just like really. I just like the stuff that's like just so stupid, like it's just so dumb that it's just awesome. If that makes any sense, like it's so stupid.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. No.
Because that's up to the people watching, not to the thing itself.
But like when I say something that's like stupid, I mean like just like silly, like it's like super ridiculous. Like not that they're doing something like stupid, like drinking all day or like stuff like that. Like because like that guy made a video.
That might not be stupid to somebody that drinks all day.
Exactly. Well, I'm just saying like.
You have to start defining these things. You can't generalize. You generalize a lot, right?
I know.
But I want you to start showing people you are confident with what you're, because there's something in there you do know. Yeah. And the goal is to try to find that, because that's how we're going to create this business around it, right? And so for you, I'm thinking ridiculous and funny. When I think Eric Andre, where you're pushing a cart into somebody's car for no reason. Yeah. Some people are really upset at that because they've had that happen and it wasn't a funny situation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But then you run the risk of being looked at as not serious, right? So that man has made millions because he's consistent. Yes, and he goes big. Saying.
And so I think that's one of the biggest
what could you do on your budget and your timeline and what you have and the neighborhoods you're in that would be similar to ridiculous? And give me an example, right? And like, who is that for still? And is that to better their day, or is that just to show that you're silly? Because that might not help anyone, right? So how do we...
I think with my budget... I really think the most ridiculous thing I would do is just ask people like stupid questions. Like I love the like
vlog style
people.
interview.
Kind of. Okay. Yeah, but like one person at the camera walk with the microphone, like so.
I like that. That's really putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and you just walk up to people and you just like ask them like just ridiculous questions, like do you fart when you pee? Like, you fart? And then people are like, "What are you asking me, bro?" Or like I saw this one thing where he walked up to people like, "Hey, could we get an interview? Like we're just asking people." With people with ego bigger than their dicks. Like, I was wondering if we could get, like, just saying really mean stuff.
Okay.
Or they'll walk up to girls and be like,
what do you get from that channel?
What do I get?
Why do you like that channel? If you're giving it as an example of what they do.
That was just one of the videos. I found it funny just because people's reactions, because like you walk with someone be like, "Hey, we're interviewing girls that put out on the first date. Like, could I interview you?"
Right.
And then people's reactions are just either like, they're like, "What the fuck?" Like they're just like laughing about it, and that's just kind of funny. But it doesn't go past that. They're like, I don't actually.
Right.
But that was just one of the videos I think of sometimes because I found that one like pretty funny.
That's fine. I just want you to think critically of why it was funny. Yeah.
I also think I wouldn't do pranks. Like if I upload stuff, I would logistically think of kind of like stuff we're doing in like film class, right? But like just make them like funny and silly.
Well, let's stay on the vlog topic. We haven't fleshed that out yet.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not a prank, but at the same time,
it is. But
the kind of questions you ask,
it also could be like real questions.
To matter.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter.
Do you care what people are reacting to? Because if people are reacting to dick and fart jokes,
that's true.
then you're still once again running the risk of being looked at as just that and
Yeah,
locking yourself in.
and I get that. That's why that
Right.
idea
And
is kind of
so,
like
how
it's
do you see yourself maybe not necessarily avoiding that, but meeting it in the middle? What's a good middle point that you could say it's not, I'm talking to people about business, but I'm also not coming up to an average
yeah.
family and asking them about dick and penis jokes, right? Like, how do
Yeah.
you bridge that gap so that anybody you talk to is going to go, what's the channel name? I need to find this video, right? Like, that's the goal.
You know, okay.
Right?
I have a much better example.
Okay,
now.
there
So
we go.
I like those types of jokes where it's just so stupid, but also like there's levels of it. Like if you're just gonna say D's nuts, like that's not funny. But like so you see you laugh, but
Because I'm a child.
Yeah,
But
that's
not
what I'm
everyone's
saying.
a joke.
That's what I'm saying,
And
though.
I
But,
wouldn't
like,
pay
that's-
money for that joke.
Exactly.
Right. So
But what I think about is there's this YouTube channel, Almost Friday TV, and they
Almost
make
Friday, okay.
and so they make actually like really good looking shots, but the stories are always like everywhere. Like so like one of the stories was it's like really cinematic and everything, and it like looks really good. But so the whole idea is like dude runs into another guy. They're out in the middle of this desert, and they're both just drunk, and they both step out of the car like, oh fuck, like, and they both been drinking. Like, don't worry about it. And then a cop pulls up, and then the cop pulls up, and he's also drunk, and then he's like, and he just hops out and like pisses off the tree, and then yeah, and then the
like
FBI
that.
shows up, and he's also drunk, and then
Okay.
so there's a bunch of drunk guys, and then then the whole story is like then they encounter like this fucking alien in the middle of the desert, and they're like, holy shit, what is that? And then they're like, and the FBI guy's like, it's okay, you're all drunk, right? He's like the alcohol can't, like the alcohol level is it's like repellent to the alien, so it can't kill us. And he's like, when's the last time you drank? And then he's like, what's your BAC? And he takes like the B because he's like a cop, and then it's like 0.03, and he's like, fuck. He's like, I'm not drunk. And then he has to drink hand sanitizer to protect himself. And then the ending is like just him puking everywhere, or like just helping him out and just being like,
This went from like really funny to stupid.
That's
You're
what I'm
right.
saying.
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying. I
And
love that stuff.
I would. I almost enjoyed that. I was having such a good time, and then it got stupid. Why? I don't like when people do that, but that's funny. That's just me. So this is what I want you to realize is there's going to be people that just don't like your stuff.
I get it.
And there's people that
totally
are going to
understand.
love your stuff, but we want to identify them though, so that they're not just the mystery people. Because we know a lot of people won't, but who are the ones that are going to love it, and what
I think people
what did their
just
day
like
looks like, right?
Yeah, I think people in their 20s, honestly, I think that's my main like specific audience, because you know, older people probably won't find it funny at all.
U.S. teens in their 20s?
US teams?
Teens.
Teens? Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably
there's-
say so.
You could do cultural, right? And
That's
that's
true.
so that's running a whole different thing. But if you travel a lot, that could be something you do. British kids versus London kids. You know, like I've seen those videos, and those are hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Because culturally, you then understand the difference. You learn something.
Exactly.
My goal is to not always learn something when I'm watching comedy. But I am not a TikTok scroller. I don't sit there and just laugh because I'm supposed to. I actually find humor in the things that maybe weren't supposed to be funny, or didn't mean to be funny, or were so subtle that you had to think about it. Because I do pay attention, right? So how could you inject cleverness into the stupidity, right? For some of your videos, like what was a clever video? Like I like the everybody was drunk one because it's clever.
It's clever,
but then it got stupid, and I wanted like, how do you? And I guess that's a good example. It covers everybody. It got me to laugh. It'd probably get everybody else to laugh. So even though I hated the ending, it doesn't mean I wouldn't watch it for the experience.
And they're all like,
so that's
they're all
actually
like 4
a
or
good
5 minute,
example.
like, they're just short films. Is really what it is. Just like short.
They're 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're really like, it's really like 4 or 5
They're
minutes.
not shorts.
So
shorts.
They're not shorts. No, they're
okay.
That's actual like production. Like they actually put in like the work and stuff, and it looks good. And that's also why I mess with it, because I'm like, oh, this is actually like they planned the time out, and it's like a whole production.
Okay.
So it's not just like it's not just like some TikTok like thing. It's So
well, those channels are blowing up all over. I remember watching this group channel called Dormtainment back in the day, and it was skits and spoofs on just relatable things.
Yeah.
You know, and just the funniest thing I remember was this sleepover situation where all these dudes are in the house and there's one girl and she sneaks out in the middle of the night to go use the bathroom, blows it up, goes back to sleep. One of the guys wakes up, is like, what the heck? Wakes all the dudes up, was like, who did this? And nobody knows who it is. And she's just laying there like with their eyes open, just like trying not to laugh. And I just was like, that is freaking hilarious.
That is. I like that.
And I found that and it was a very big production, like you were saying, about 5 minutes and well lit, well.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're well produced too. Like they have a bunch of them too.
So, and that was a big thing back in the day. So you could definitely do something like that. But those people aren't just dudes making silly videos, not to grow to the level they grew.
Yeah.
Right. And so they think about their audience, they think about their products, who is actually going to spend money on us. And so,
right. And why? A lot of their money, I think, comes from like sponsors and stuff, like you said, like not just YouTube, because like YouTube's very strict on certain things, is what I've heard. And so, like, even if you cuss or anything, like they're just like, oh, no money, like demonetized, like can't even get it monetized. But
you don't need that to make money on YouTube. Yeah. Right. You can sell a product that all your listeners.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And usually that's what I'm saying. There's a sponsor in the middle. Like,
no, that's not the product. The sponsor is not you. No, the sponsor is who sponsors your video, who then you sell your product to, right?
And a lot of pages like that too, they do a Patreon. So they're like, hey, if you want to support us, like, and do our thing, like, there's just a thing, and then you can sign up. And then a lot of it's like you get extra videos, like specific ones that you can't see on YouTube, and like you can see like the full
Patreon,
like, and you get like and you get the cooler stuff because they don't have to censor anything. You can see it.
I am so curious.
And a lot of channels do that. Like I watched this one YouTube channel, and pretty much his whole stick is setting pedophiles up with a decoy, kind of like Catching Predators with Chris Hansen. Yeah, it's exactly that pretty much, but it's just like a new wave of doing it.
Right.
And like they'll have him, like this one guy, so they have him set up, they have him meet a girl that's supposed to be like really underage, and then he'll have him play him in Mortal Kombat. Like he'll come out and be like, "What are you doing here tonight?" You know, and then like try to explain himself. And then he's like, "Well, I'll give you one episode." He's like, "I'll give you an ultimatum." He's like, "If you can beat me in Mortal Kombat, I'll let you go.
Right.
I won't contact the cops whatsoever."
Yeah.
And it's like, or if you lose, I'll contact the cops. And then they play. But he's really good at Mortal Kombat, so the guy just kicked the pedophile's ass.
I see.
But yeah,
well, I got daughters. That stuff's so sensitive. So I understand why to some people that would be hilarious. Right. Leave and there's no, that's fine. And it's not sensitive to me necessarily. Just I couldn't find myself going, oh well, he beat him at the other guy beat him at Mortal Kombat, so just let the guy go. Like
but
that doesn't make any sense to me.
But he doesn't. That's
I know, but he doesn't it's for humor. For the audience, but I don't know how funny most parents would take that. People without kids, fine.
Exactly. And like maybe that's why, but I think actually it's good because the people out there fucking are terrible.
I know that, but there's also I saw this news story of one of the Hunter people, just like that, getting shot by somebody he confronted, and so to me that stuff's like very dangerous, right? It's good work, no bad there, but that is a touchy one to do on YouTube.
Right. And that's,
you know what I mean?
But that's why he sets up his Patreon, and like there's a lot of people that follow him. And so like you pay like $5 a month and you get to see like the uncensored, like everything they say, because a lot of it is blurred out.
Right.
And
so
they just like clowning on these people.
Just because, so I can stay on the topic of what I'm talking about, which is monetizing the thing. So he uses extra videos, extra perks of the channel to make money. What I have noticed makes more money than that is selling your own product independent of that, where you're not doing any extra work.
Okay.
People are buying a product that you sell. So what's an example? So I'll give an example. Yeah. Like for me, Palmer House Productions, we sell customized office setups, home setups for YouTube. That is my product. when I make my video, it doesn't matter if that video is sponsored, not sponsored. Okay. If 5 people call and pay me $1,000 each to come set up their spaces, that's my product. I could also say, pay for this downloadable PDF that walks you through how to do it on your own if they're in Germany, and they spend $40 on that. I'm not doing any extra work. The work was already done. Yeah. And you multiply and scale that. Those you can command a higher ticket price, and you scale it in the fact that it works for you while you're sleeping. Nothing you have to keep doing extra and lock yourself into. And those are the products I want to help my, if I could, listeners really dive into, because you do it one time and it feeds you for the rest of however long it lives, right? But you start with the intention of like, what are some of those things I could provide to people in my videos, and say, hey, if this is you and you could use our help, give us a call. And maybe it's, we're funny, so if you own a comedy club and need it to gain steam, one of our things is we work with comedy clubs in the area to help bring promotion by putting on skits at your club. Yeah. And so if you're a promoter, if you're this, then give us a call and we can help you, sell out your next venue. So like really that's where I would start going, because now it doesn't matter what, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like your product is, you help them with something, whatever that is.
I think that's a good, I like
and
that.
You could step out of that role too, because in a year, if you're like, I don't want to do that anymore, you can still have people calling saying we need help, and you're like, oh, I have a team of people. Yeah, like I've been growing this.
And that's what you're trying to do.
Yes, right. And so, with that being said, hopefully when you watch these videos now, you're watching critically, because a lot of them, they have shops, merch shops. That's super easy. You can buy a mug, you can buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, and there's a lot of websites that actually like do it for you too.
Right. There's Spring Tea. There's so many actually.
There's so many, like
Redbubble. And so leveraging that first and then making your content around that to sell that is a really good idea. Because what I worry for people like me and you who don't have a big social following is we're going to get disappointed by the views and likes, but I don't think we'll be disappointed by the money made by those that actually buy the product, right? And so
we're gonna try to.
The goal isn't maximum likes and maximum virality as much as it is maximum impact for those that we're targeting, so that we actually produce something that they want to spend money on. If that makes sense.
I think it should be maximized fun.
Maximize fun.
Maximize fun. Maximize fun. It should be maximized fun.
Is that your brand?
Sure. Actually, that's a good brand, actually.
The MFers?
The MFers, bro.
You would love that. That would be right up your alley.
Don't steal that. I got that. I'm going to trademark that right now.
Okay.
No, but I like that, though. I think with anything you do, you should like at least try to like enjoy yourself. Like obviously work sucks, blows. I work at Costco. I know how that goes. But I think a lot of aspects of life, everything's enjoyable if you're just having a little bit of fun. Even just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can't have fun all the time, but when you do, just, I don't know, I try to stay positive.
Right.
It's hard sometimes, but everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it. I think that also makes like everything enjoyable.
Right.
And then I don't know. I guess that's my goal, is like just to do something enjoyable, and just hopefully it makes money, because like I don't know, but I think I need to also focus on.
I don't think you have to hope.
I don't gotta hope. I gotta do it.
No, you don't also just have to blindly do it. I think what I'm trying to say is there's an in between both of those. Between hope and blindly doing it, there's actually doing research, taking the little bit of notes you learned here, maybe you learned somewhere else, putting those together. And that's the whole reason
I moved out here, man, because I wanted to learn. I wanted to experience these things. Like this is awesome. Like what I've been doing, even this is amazing.
So let's go back to that. So the UW Film School.
That's right. Forgot about that.
What are the roles that you would explore, even if not working for yourself, but maybe getting a job in if that was needed right away, just to at least pay bills? What would that be?
Yeah, I would probably like edit. Honestly, like I would love editing. Like I know we talked about that a little bit,
right?
And like it's something that I need to get better at. Like, and I have improved my skills a bit. So
it takes time.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think having this experience has been helping a lot too. And
Mm-hmm.
but I think in the long run, if I had any job where I could consistently just like pay my bills and have like a good amount of money just like editing or working like part of a film team, like not even my own thing, but working for someone like you, for example,
Right.
maybe, like I'd be happy in life. Like I
Yeah.
would like
Huh. That
like
could
I don't know,
work.
like you know, like obviously the idea of like starting my own business is awesome, right? Because like you know you can do what
It
you want,
isn't
you're
for
your own boss.
everybody, right?
It is for everybody, but
It isn't for
I,
everybody.
oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, it isn't.
Yeah.
It is not for everybody,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I haven't had that like maybe I don't know.
Huh.
I haven't had that like certain drive to just do it. Like I just like I don't know. I need to be told what to do a lot of the time because
So you'd make
maybe
a
that's
great employee, which is
yes.
why I like you,
Thank
because
you,
I could see you doing a really good
thank
job.
you, and maybe just because I'm younger now, but like
Right.
I don't know. I've never been that role of like, yeah, I want to be a boss. Like my
Right.
last two jobs, like they're both like, or at least the car wash, they're
Right.
always like, oh, Alex, you got to become an MIT. Like you got to become, which is like a manager in training. And then you
Mm-hmm.
train for like 2 years as like a supervisor essentially. And they got treated like dick. They got way too many hours. They just never they just got and they only got paid like 20 cents more to
Mm-hmm.
do like triple the amount of work I was doing. And I was like,
Right.
I'm good, bro. Like
Right.
I was like, maybe for like a couple dollars, but no, for like 20 cents, hell no.
Okay.
And
So
yeah, and
let's
I
focus
never
on
wanted to. I just never
employee then.
and same thing at Costco. I don't ever wanted to. Like you
No, that's
can,
fine.
but
So let's focus
never wanted to
on
move up.
employee.
Hmm.
Even as an employee, there's no point in being where you started at the bottom
Right. No, and
your
I'm
whole
not
life.
saying
So hopefully there is some
yes,
drive for more,
Yes,
even
there
if it's
is.
not to own your own.
Yes,
But
no,
at some
there
point, supervisor, manager
yeah.
is useful.
Exactly, yeah.
And so,
And like I'm not saying it's not useful or
no,
anything.
no, you're going to need it, is what
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
saying.
I'm
You know,
saying. Yeah, yeah. And I'm
afford
not
the
saying it's
things you
not
want.
useful. I just
Yeah.
like
Just
right now I haven't had that like just really want to like
Push.
move up like that. But I mean like where I'm at right now, like I'm not at the bottom, but I'm like
Right.
pretty close to it. But like I'm not because like I make a little bit more because I've
So
been
what
there
would it
a
take
year.
for you to move up to the next level? What's the next level from where you're at?
Specifically in Costco, I don't know. I don't really want to move up in Costco. It really sucks.
You just want to leave Costco.
I do eventually, yeah. I mean,
And so if you were to leave Costco, which bottom pit would you want to start in, essentially? That's where I want to focus on. Because
right.
if you don't care about that, you're already working your way out. But let's help you figure out what that looks like, because it could be a month, it could be a few weeks, it could be 6 months, but at least you would know
Yeah.
and start working toward that. And so would it be all video industry stuff? Would you just be looking for jobs in the industry?
Yeah,
Or
I
is it
think
just another different job that's might as well Costco lateral, but just,
yeah, and
you
see,
know,
like that's my thing is if I quit Costco, there's nothing really better than like Costco at like a bare minimum like job. Like maybe there's something better, but like the pay and the benefits are like really good. So like
so that's what your metric is.
so
Pay
that's
and
what
benefits.
yeah, pay and benefits, yeah, and
Yeah.
they do have good benefits. It's pretty chill. I mean, I
Yeah.
just push carts most of the time and
Right.
work the front and work the door sometimes,
Okay.
but like I just don't want to be I just know deep down I do not want to be stuck there forever. I really
Right.
don't because I've seen people there that have been there since 91,
Yeah.
since 89 and I'm
Yeah.
like and they just
That doesn't help
they
anyone.
all just wanted like they all just look really depressed.
Yeah,
And
it
I'm
sounds like where you'll be if you don't try to like push that drive now.
That's what I'm
because
saying.
nobody's going to do it for you.
that's what I'm saying. That's
right?
what I'm saying. So like that's
how
why
do
I
we
want to
get
push my
you
drive
to
in like in
another
this stuff
industry?
in video stuff. Yeah, because like
see.
Costco's just like Costco to me is just a job. That's what I do to go make my money.
You want to
pay
know what
my
I'm
bills.
worried about, Alex?
Yes.
I'm worried you're just going to settle for being the guy with the holding the microphones. You're just going to do the same thing in this industry, the cart pusher of the video
But I don't
industry.
think-
And I don't want that
Right.
for you. You don't want that for you.
No.
So how do we prevent that actively? Because that will happen if you don't actively prevent it.
Right.
You'll just be like, oh, I got hired as an editor and I'm good here, and you'll just be the editor. There's nothing wrong with that. Or I'm just the sound guy, but there's so much more. And if you're going to be the sound guy, is your goal at least to be the best sound guy?
Yeah.
Right. And so even if it's just the microphone guy,
That's
the
what I'm saying, is
camera
like-
guy, as long as your
Yeah.
goal is to still
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Push yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I don't want to settle and just be like, oh, I'm just going to do like the basic edits I do now.
Right.
I want to get good to a point where it's like people like just
Put
come to
some
me for
respect on your
yes,
shit.
put some respect on my name. They're like, this dude
Right.
knows how to edit. Like,
Right.
shout out to him. And like, that's what I love, bro.
We want that.
And so like, that's why I want to be like, so that's what I'm saying. I don't want to settle for something like we were saying. I agree with that. I'm not going to settle and be like, you know, this is where I'm at. You know, I can't do any more than that. Like, no, like I want to push myself to see what I can actually do and like take like a lot of time and effort and put all that towards just like one thing. I just want to push it towards like one or two things. Like I would love to work a camera and edit. Like those are probably
there you go.
Like I like setting up the camera. I like doing different movements and stuff. And I just like, and then editing I think is simple just because like I don't know. I'm just boring and like to sit in front of my computer maybe. I don't know.
I like that. But, and I'm glad you love that because when I think edit and I think next level, like to me, this is how I go. I go hard everywhere. I'll be in jail and I'll work my way up in there. Like it doesn't matter where you are, work your way up.
Yeah.
And if you're an editor, the next level is you are now saying Jevoy is a client and I edit for or with Jevoy. I take on Jevoy's projects as part of my business versus saying Jevoy hires you as an editor.
Right.
I've taken Jevoy on as a client and it's a symbiotic relationship of we're both hiring each other. Now that's where it's like, right? Where I'm just like, hey, Alex, I got 6 shoots this week. My editors are full. Can I throw you some jobs? You're like, you know, bro, if you got 600, sure.
Yes,
and I'm like, okay, bet, let's do it. And then, and so on and so forth. And you say, you know, some other, I spread the word and other shooters know about you. And everybody who's anybody sends you their footage.
And that's what I really hope for with like doing all this stuff
next
out here.
Level.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like, that's why I just need that experience, bro, to put some stuff out there to show them what I can do. And I think every time I do something, I try to get a little bit better, like, especially with my like school projects. Like I just try to do something a bit better just every time. Just try to work, even if it's just like a simple things like, oh, like I edited this one like faster than my last one just because I learned the shortcuts better. Just stuff like that. Even if I'm doing something better, like that makes me feel good that I'm actually doing something better. So it's not going to jump there like overnight or anything.
Right. Well, what do you make hourly now?
$18.50.
That's beautiful. So if I were to say, Alex, I need this project edited, would you charge me for a flat rate or would you charge me hourly?
Oh, I charge you a flat rate. I don't do.
How would you know how long it would take?
I guess it would depend on what you wanted edited. Like,
so you'd find out that first and scope it out.
Yeah,
and say I think I could do this for
Because I have to work with people. You know, like I'm not going to charge you the same rate for something that's like maybe I don't know. I'm also just like generous in that way. I'm like, you know, because like I'm not going to charge you double. I mean, some people do that. I don't know if you do that.
It's not double. So I've worked with a few editors and there's hourly and there's a set fee.
Okay.
Here's the arguments for either. Hourly is good when you're just starting because you don't really know how long it's going to take. Fee-based is better later because if they're now getting really good at knocking this out, what used to take 4 hours now takes an hour, they're getting paid less. They're getting paid like 75% less because they are getting better and it's actually hurting them. So now they're like, I'm gonna average out for 4 hours. Let's say it's $25 an hour. I'll do it for $100. They know it only takes them an hour now. In the beginning, it used to take all of that time. Now they can use that. So I say that you have to do it's a hybrid, right? Like where you're just like, I don't want to be punished for being good and getting better every time. So I'll start off hourly so I don't end up telling them it'll take me 4 hours, but really it took 16 because I need to know how long it's going to take before I can set my price. If the project is similar enough, right? And so if it's like they come with music videos that are on average 5 minutes and every time it takes me about this time, so I can just set price. But then if you can't do that for then, it's a documentary. Same shit as a music video. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's now you need to go back to hourly for this to see what it would take to edit that, right?
Exactly.
And so with that in mind, I think
so you would say that you would do it based on like on what type it is, like
The
time.
type of video.
Like, yeah, okay.
So if I was to, like, I'll give you an example, the social media shorts I do for my
Yeah.
clients, they're a minute or less every video.
Yeah.
And so at some point, the first shoot I sent him, it took him like 8 hours to do that because he had to review, figure out what was going on. The next one, it took 4 hours. And so it's going to cost less to do it. And so at some point, he's just like, how about 250 for every video at 1 minute or less? Whether it takes me 5 hours this time, 2 hours this time, I'm not going to make you know. I'll just do it for 250. I'm like, shoot, perfect. Let's do that. So, but it had to get to that point of he recognized the footage. It wasn't going to be that much, or it was going to be that much, and then was able to come to that. Now, if I start selling other products that are now 2 minutes of deliverable or 5 minutes of deliverable, he has to go back to hourly to then recalibrate what his set fee is, right?
Okay.
So, and it's just based on, that type of video. Is it for the web? Is it for YouTube? Is it because it requires different graphics? It requires different pacing and storytelling, right? So, okay. So editing, filmmaking, UW, Costco.
That's right.
We talked about a lot. How are you feeling about your putting yourself out there potentially in 2025 and exploring that option for yourself?
I think I feel better about it. And I also have, like, I guess that's the other thing. Like, I haven't had a lot to actually, like, show people. Like, the most I was doing is just posting, like, personal stuff to Instagram. Like, that's the most I've done in the past, like, year. But, like, our last project I did, I put that on YouTube because I was like, you know what? I like it. I'm just going to post it, you know?
Right.
And even though it might not get any views or whatever, but it feels good to actually, like, put something that I did that I worked on, like, out there again. Like, it feels good to have it just out there somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I'm hopeful that with the more projects to do, I will just, like, the more stuff I do, I just want to release it just on YouTube and stuff and get it out there somewhere, you know?
Okay.
So
dope.
I think it's looking up.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Alex, for
hanging
out on this episode. I'm sure the next one will be very different based on where you're at with all of this, right? Whether you're still at Costco or not, whether you are doing this or that. And if you had words to live by in 1 or 2 sentences, what would that be for yourself? What are your words to live by?
My words to live by. Shoot, I would say I got too many.
That's right. You're going to have to concentrate and focus them down into the most impactful 2 sentences.
No matter what day, no matter how you feel that day, whether it's a bad day or a good day, the sun always going to come out. And it's always going to be there for you. And life is worth living.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Thank you guys for sitting along for this much. And if you want to be on the podcast, if you've got a business and something you want to share or just discuss that's on your mind, whether that be a decision, a thought process about how to go about it, pricing, whatever, feel free to let me know. I'm not sure how to do the communication channel thing on YouTube just yet, but if you would like, send an email to info@palmerhouseproductions.com. I'd be happy to do a phone call, Zoom, virtual thing, or if you are in the Seattle area, would be happy to have you at the studio or visit your location. All right, till next time.